Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. As always, I am Callie. This is Callie's Collectibles Reviews, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Lord Zedd Figure. Continuing my look at Power Rangers figures, this is the next one that I'm going to take a very close look at. I will jump over to the review station and see you shortly. Bye-bye. Okay, so here we are back in the review station, and let's take a closer look at the packaging first, like I always do. This was one of the first ones to be released. I think it was from Mighty Morphin. It was the White Ranger and Lord Zedd back in Wave 1. So there we go. As always, Saban's Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Lord Zedd with 2 Ds. There's that artwork that carries on around the side of the box. The Mighty Morphin logo. Product shot on the back. Doesn't quite look how the figure looks, but it's a nice piece of artwork of the character. There's all your warnings and stuff. Same on the bottom. And again on this side, that same piece of artwork. So, that's it for the box. Now, with this figure, what you see... Sorry, my tripod's been a git. There we go. With this figure, kind of what you see here is what you get with the figure. You get the figure itself, you get his staff, some interchangeable hands, a little bomb, and the lightning effect, done in a nice red colour. So we will take a look at this first. Very nice red electricity effect. It's meant for wrapping around his staff. I'll show how that works in a bit. But it's kind of what you've seen with other Power Ranger characters and figures in this line. Pretty much the exact same sculpt, just done in a different colour. So there you go. For the staff, it's not as silver as it should be. It should be like a metallic silver. I mean, in the show, it was a metallic silver. It's just cast in this grey plastic. It's a little flexy, but not super. There's the other end. Little hand grip in the middle, which I think was accurate to the show. Like, it was exactly like this, had the hand grip in the middle. So there you go. There's the Z staff. Here's the little bomb, grenade, or grenade as the fan base calls it. He used to throw it down to earth, the monster would catch it or pick it up, pop this little bit off, throw it on the floor, it'd explode, and they'd become giant. So, if you're a fan of the show, you know exactly what this is. As for the hands, and this is going to point out the first glaring mistake on this figure. You get 2 interchangeable hands. You get a grip hand on him for holding his staff. And kind of a kind of hand. Same with kind of this one. This one's more for holding the little grenade. Just pop that in his hand. And there you go. That's kind of what that's for. But the big glaring mistake that this figure has is you can see the back of the hand is painted silver. Because there's like a little piece there. But on here and the tips of his fingers, you can see he's got these same metal plates, the same on there and the thumb, but they're not painted. But if you buy the 2-pack version of this figure that comes with Rita Repulsa, which was the wedding day edition, those parts are painted. So it's a little bit, really? Okay. So, and a fist hand on the other side. If he wants to, you know, punch a ranger in the chin or something, I don't know. But there you go. That's the hands. They work pretty much the same way all the hands work on all these Power Ranger figures. Just simple plug in and out. I'm not going to show the hand swapping feature because you've seen it on other figures, so nah. But now we'll take a quick look at Mr. Lord Zedd himself, or Lord Ed as he was so commonly called in the show. Now, as you can see, absolutely amazing paintwork. It's not as accurate as it is to the back of the box, and in person the reds are a lot darker. They're more of a, I want to say like a brownish red, like a burgundy kind of colour. On camera under the light it does come out very, very red, but it's not. It is much more of a maroon kind of colour. Maroon, burgundy kind of red. But take a look at that head sculpt. You see his brain popping out there, the big pointy bit with the Z on it. All the detail around the back as well. Don't know how well that's going to focus because the light is right on it, but there you go. And it is like a textured feel to it, so that's very nice. But overall, looks-wise, I think this is about the most accurate Lord Zedd we have ever got. So, yeah. But I will quickly run over articulation. Oh, actually, take a look at the back. He's got a nice little spine thing going along. You get it lined up properly. There we go. These tubes are done in like a translucent blue, which is very, very cool. They do plug in at the wrists and under the chest armour and into his butt. What? In the butt. Anyway, so articulation. The head is on a hinge and ball joint, so you can kind of get that far back, that far forward, so you can look down quite a bit. You get a decent amount of tilt, and you get full 360 rotation. Shoulders are on butterfly joints and pin and hinge joints, so you can go that far out, backwards and forwards. You have rotation at the bicep, but it is a little bit tricky because you're working with the butterfly joints and they are quite loose. So, but you do have rotation here at the bicep. You have nice double jointed elbows on ratchets. Gets you about that much bend. If you have his arm straight down, it's a little over 90 degrees. And rotation and hinge at the wrists. It's the same both sides. Now, you don't get a waist joint here, but you do get an ab crunch and an upper diaphragm joint. So you get rotation there. Again, you've got to be really careful of like these wires and how far you're stretching things, but it can move. You can lean on just this joint, that far back, and that far forward. If you use this joint, you can go about that far back before you start really stretching these hoses, and that far forward if you use that bottom joint as well. It's like, oh shit, I lost my fly. Excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry, folks. I made myself laugh so bad just then. But anyway, all right, legs. Now, this is the part that really bugs me with this guy. His hips are like stupid loose. Like you can see just by what little bit, giving him a little shake, they're all over the place. You can go out to the side, about that far, down to there, forward that far, back and to the side kind of, but more to the side, so you can't really go back too far. Double jointed knees, but again, you got to be careful of like these hoses and stuff. So you're not really going to get the double bend out of it, but it is there. These do actually pop off, so if you want to kind of foot sit, you can. It's the same both sides, and ankles are on forward-facing pins, but they're on ratchets as well, so they're quite difficult to move. You don't really get too much back because of the way the armour is sculpted. And again, you don't get too far forward because of this piece. But you do get some nice ankle rocker, which is a nice bonus. Now, for Zedd's accessories and integrating them with the figure, we'll just get him kind of posed a little bit. Sorry, this is the boring part. Give me 2 seconds. And there we have Lord Zedd posed with his accessories. I think holds a pose quite well, but the joints in the hips are incredibly loose. So once you get him into a pose, don't really mess with him too much. But I'll do some quick comparisons now with some other figures from the Lightning collection, so you can see what this guy looks like with, other figures in the line. Here he is with Goldar, his left-hand monkey man type creature. I think they scale pretty damn well together. I always thought Goldar was a little bit taller, but side by side, I think they look really cool. And here's how he scales with your standard size male and female rangers, represented by Billy the Blue Ranger and Trini the Yellow Ranger. So then, that was my look at the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Lord Zedd figure. Pretty damn good figure in my opinion. I'll jump back out of the review station, give you my final thoughts, and sign off. Mwah. See you in a sec. So then, that was my review of the Hasbro Power Rangers Lightning Collection Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Lord Zedd figure. In my opinion, pretty good figure. Has its issues, lack of paint on the hands, the looseness of some joints, definitely do detract from it, but as you've seen from the video, once you get it into a pose, if you just don't mess with it, it looks fine. Would I recommend picking up this figure? Yes, definitely. If you are a Power Rangers fan, you need the big bad guy himself, but I would definitely say try and track down the Wedding 2-pack with him and Rita. Just because apparently a lot of the issues that were with this first one were rectified in that one. So if you can get it, get it. If not, this one is just as good. Just be aware, like the things I pointed out, the issues that you may run into. Scoring out of 10, I'd say 5, possibly a 6. It's a very middle of the road kind of figure. It's not amazing, but it's not shit. It's good. It's a good figure, so on those grounds, I highly recommend it. Anyway, I shall speak to you all in my next review, where I will take a look at the lovely Tengu Warrior that I recently added to my collection. Until then, I shall love you and leave you. Mwah. Bye bye.
Go, go, Power Rangers!